Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel SK Tech. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the abstract class. So we are going to discuss like what is abstract class, what are the abstract methods, key concept of abstract classes, and with the help of some example. So let's begin. So before moving to the discussion about the abstract class, let's see what is abstraction first. So basically, data abstraction is the process of hiding the certain details and showing only essential information to the user, which is basically required to the user. So basically, abstraction can be achieved with either with the abstract class or the interface. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about abstract classes. So first, let's take an example of the abstraction. So let's say we have an email. So and let's say we have a sender and one receiver. So sender only needs to know some basic information, right, while sending the message. So he should know like what is the email ID that he want to send, what are the subject line, what are the mail content information. And receiver also wants to know this some basic information like who has sent the mail, what are the subjects, and what are the content that he's received. But this both sender and receiver does not need to know about the how the message has been sent from one system to another system. What are the process, what are the protocols and all, everything is not required for both the sender and receiver. Similar to this, in Java also, in case of the abstract class, we only show the important information or important piece of programs that other end user is required to be known. Then let's see what is abstract class, then it will be more clear. So basically, an abstract is a Java modifier applicable for classes and methods, not for variable. So basically, abstract is a keyword available in Java. Using this keyword, we can create the class as abstract class, or we can create the method as abstract method. So first we'll see what is abstract class. So an abstract class is a class that is declared with the abstract keyword. And what is the meaning of that when we declaring the class with the abstract keyword? So basically, when we declare any class with the keyword abstract keyword, it means that that class can contain zero or more methods that are abstract or not abstract. So here comes to the point like then what is the abstract and non-abstract method? So basically the abstract method are the method which have only the signature and which does not have any implementation. And non-abstract method means which have the implementation with the body. So something like a method that does not have its body is known as abstract method, and when we use the same abstract keyword to create the abstract method, that is called abstract method, something like this. So let's say this is the simple methods, and before that if we added the keyword abstract, this method will become as abstract. And here if you see, we are terminating here only, we are not providing any starting curly braces and ending curly braces for the implementation. So basically in overall, abstract class is a class which can contain the abstract method and non-abstract method. Abstract method means which does not have any implementation, and non-abstract method means which will have some implementation. We will see the importance and the important use cases why this abstract class is required and when we can go for the abstract class. So let's take an example first, like how we will create the abstract class and what are the use cases. So let's say we have a requirement to create the some HTTP client config class where we want to provide some information already and some information we want to be make sure that going to be provided by the subclasses. Okay, so what we can do, we create the class and we declare this class as abstract by using this abstract keyword. Then we will provide some information like some common piece of code that is going to be used for the subclasses. So here only we'll provide the non-abstract method and we have provided the implementation. And we have also defined some method which is abstract. It means that it does not have any information, it just have the method signature. So it is the responsibility of the subclasses to define this logic. So let's say we have a subclasses A service and B service. So let's say service A has provided some information that was not provided in the abstract class, like get proxy of host and get proxy port. But here one point is note that what are the information that we have implemented already, it does not means that this the same information is going to be used for all subclasses. If subclasses wants, they can override those implementation. For example, this these two method implementation was already present. So let's say this is the second subclass, and here this B service has provided their own some host port and host name, right? And also if B service having some requirement to change their existing implementation which is coming from this super class, or you can say abstract class, then that is also possible. So they just need to override it and provide their own implementation. For example, let's say get connection timeout, he don't want to use the existing one which is coming from the abstract class, like this he wants to reduce it, and this one he wants to increase it. So this is the useful when, let's say, we have a requirement where we want to provide some default implementation and some information we want to force it to the implemented by all the subclasses. So in that case we can go for the abstract class. We will see more use cases when we can go for the abstract classes. So this is the main method where basically we are creating the HTTP client config class and providing the A service, and with the help of the object we are calling the get proxy object, right? Get proxy method. Similar to that, in the same abstract class instance we can create the another subclasses like new B service, and then using that we can call this B service implementation. One point here we have to remember is like Java does not allow to create the instance of the abstract class. One point I can understand is like why it does not allow, because abstract class can contain abstract method and non-abstract method. Let's say if Java is allowed to create the instance of the abstract class, what happen if the class contain non-abstract method also and abstract method also? So if you create the object, if you try to call this method, means abstract method, it will not give any output, right? And it might throw like there is no implementation. And because of this, Java does not allow to create the instance of the abstract class. So it is the responsibility of the subclass who is extending this abstract class to provide the implementation of all the abstract method and to create the instance of the subclass, and then using this instance we can call that method, right? Now let's see some use cases in which of the scenario we can go and what are the advantage of using the abstract classes. So first advantage we can see here is like common functionality. So when you have a set of classes that share the common method or field, you can factor out this common functionality into abstract class, and subclasses can then inherit and reuse this common code, like what we have seen in earlier example also, right? In the HTTP client config we have provided some common implementation, and also we have provided some information, some method that is subclasses has implemented. Similar to that, let's say we have a shape class, and here we have provided the constructor of the shape class and the input, right? And here we have provided like draw method. So all the subclasses of the shape class is going to implement the draw method of the implementation according to their need. For example, triangle can be a different draw, circle can be a different draw, right? So this is the one advantage of using the abstract class when we want to do the common functionality. Second advantage I can see is like code reusability. So abstract class promote code reuse by providing the common structure for multiple related classes. So this reduce the redundancy and make the code more maintainable. For example, let's say this child class circle. So shape class is having the draw method, right? And it was also having some constructor which basically taking the input x and y, and here we are extra information that we are providing radius. So basically we are using the same shape class method implementation, and also we are providing the implementation of the method which was not provided inside the shape, basically the abstract method implementation. Next advantage I can see is like template method pattern. So what is template method pattern? So abstract classes are often used in the template method pattern when the base class provide the template, or you can say skeleton of an algorithm, and specify steps of algorithms are left to be implemented by the subclasses. For example, let's say we have a class called template. So here what we can do, we have, let's say we have created one method execute template, and here we have defined some common steps and then specify steps, right? And this specified steps we have provided like abstract method. So here common steps will be common for all the subclasses, but specified steps can be different for all the subclasses. So in that kinds of scenario we can go for the template method pattern. Next advantage I can see is like enforcing the structure. Abstract classes allow you to enforce a certain structure in the divided classes by providing the abstract method that must be implemented. It means that let's say we have a requirement and where we want to create one data class, and we have declared as abstract, and we have provided the read write functionality inside the abstract class, but whoever is going to use these data classes means all the subclasses has to be implement the logic for open connection and close connection. So read and write functionality can be common. So common functionality we have provided here only, and we want to force that all the subclasses of this data access has to be implement this open connection and close connection implementation. So in this way what we are trying to do, so what we have seen in case of the abstract class, what are the abstract method available in the abstract class that has to be implemented by all the subclasses. So if we have defined any abstract method, it means that this abstract method is going to be implemented by all the subclasses. So here when we have the requirement to enforce the structure to follow across the teams or across the module, in that kinds of scenario we can go for the abstract classes. So these are some of the use cases and advantage of using the abstract classes. Now let's see some important point that we want to discuss about the abstract classes. So first important point is like an instance of an abstract class cannot be created. That's what we have understood and we have discussed. Second point is like constructor are allowed similar to the any other classes. Third point is like we can have a abstract class without any abstract method. It means that it is not necessary like all the abstract classes will have abstract method. So it is possible that we can create a abstract class and then we just implement the non-abstract method only, but that is not recommended because that is no use, because it can be of similar to the normal class only. Fourth point, like there can be a final method in abstract class, but any abstract method in abstract class cannot be declared as a final. Why? Because we know that final class means no other class can able to extend that class, right? But in case of abstract class we want to extend by the subclasses and implement all the abstract method, and then you can only create the subclasses instance and you can access the method, right? That's why abstract classes cannot be declared as a final, or in simpler terms final method cannot be abstract itself, as it will throw some exception like illegal combination of modifier. So as we have already discussed, abstract is also a keyword, final is also a keyword, and which is nothing but the access specifier. So the combination of abstract and final we cannot declare it. Final means if a class is a final, then it cannot be extended by the any other class, and abstract means that class needs to be extended by any subclass, because we cannot create the instance of the abstract class, we can only create the instance of the subclasses. So combination of these two access specifier it is not allowed in Java. Next point, like we want to see like we can define static methods in an abstract class similar to the any other classes. Next point is like we can use the abstract keyword for declaring top level classes, outer classes, as well as the inner classes as an abstract. Next observation we have to see here, like if a class contain at least one abstract method, then compulsory should declare a class as an abstract. So like here we have seen we can have an abstract class without any abstract method, but if a class contain any abstract method, then class needs to be declared as a abstract. Next observation is like, if a child class is unable to provide the implementation for all the abstract method of a parent class, then we should declare the child class as a abstract, so that next level child class should provide the implementation to the remaining abstract class. Meaning that, so what we have seen in abstract class, we can have a abstract method and non-abstract method, and child class has to provide the implementation for all the abstract method, right? But let's say we want, if child class is not providing some of the implementation for some of the methods, then that child class has to be declared as abstract, so that this child class also will become as abstract, and next child class means, it means who is going to extend this child class is going to provide the implementation. So these are the couple of the observation about the abstract classes. In next upcoming video, we are going to discuss about the interface, and also we are going to see what is the difference between the interface and abstract class. So stay tuned. We'll meet you soon. Thank you.